Alright, we're recording again. You want to show your outfit that you've got and tell them where you got it?
What this?
Yeah.
Stand up.
No, you don't have to stand up. If you want to, you can.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Hang on. I got to back up.
You want me to tell them how I got it?
Uh-huh. But sit back down. That'll make my life easier.
All right.
Alright. Hang on.
You asked me about
I
it.
know. It's just because Uncle Jerry was just here and you told him about it and it's on my mind. I thought it was funny. Alright.
My boobs to show.
What did you just say?
And I'm not on them.
Yeah.
You erase that.
You do not have enough money for me to erase that, my mother.
Oh, I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
Everybody's going to think that's funny, Mother. You're a breast cancer survivor. That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yesterday we left out two nieces, didn't we? So you better talk about them first. You understand why they got left out, right? Because you try to do everybody in chronological order, and I do them in Uncle Bill's group, Aunt Doris's group, Uncle Ellard's group, Uncle Charles's group, Uncle Jerry's group. That makes sense to me.
That's what I should have done.
Yeah.
But
But we left out Sue and Diane. So make sure you talk about Sue and Diane, because you love Sue.
of course,
What's Sue's full name, Mother?
Hilda Sue,
Okay, just want to go on record. Go ahead.
and she never liked the name Hilda
Where'd you get Sue?
after me.
That's right.
She
Okay.
liked that name. She just didn't like Hilda. And she was named Hilda after Hilda Holland, a friend of theirs, you know.
Okay.
A kid that was a lot older than her.
Uncle Harvey thought that was a pretty name, didn't he?
Yeah, he was the one that put the Hilda on it. I think he put the Sue on it too.
Okay. Well, talk about Sue.
Sue was always a sweet kid. She still is, but she loves to talk. She calls me sometimes. She calls me occasionally. And sometimes she loves to talk about, you know, growing up and being over at the house and her mother and her daddy and her sisters and her kids, you know. And
Right.
she loves her kids dearly.
Well, she had a great mom and dad.
She really did.
She had good sisters too.
Yeah, she did. Joyce and Barbara.
Did you forget Barbara?
No,
How could you forget Barbara Ann?
I didn't.
Oh, my soul. She's your favorite.
You say that.
Well, she is. So, what about Sue?
Sue was real sweet, you know, little. She was a cute little girl. And she used to visit these neighbors of hers a lot. I've forgotten their names now. But anyhow, she used to go out there and visit them a lot.
Okay. Anything you want to say to Sue? Because she'll see this. She'll see it online.
Sue talks to me a good bit when she calls. We talk about her kids and you, and she always asks about you, and then she tells me about her children and her grandchildren, and we have a good time talking.
Was there anything you want to say to Sue?
Sue, I love you very much. Be sure to call me before Christmas.
Well, I don't know if she'll see this before Christmas,
Oh, okay.
but boy, anyway. All right. What about Diane?
Diane. Diane's, I haven't heard from Diane in several years. And I haven't been in contact with her. I don't even know really. I know she lives in California. I guess she still lives there, but she never contacts me. And I don't know how to contact her. And I love Diane, and Diane was a pretty little girl, real pretty. And I love Diane. I love all my nieces and nephews.
Okay. Well, is that all about the nieces and nephews? What you can think of you want to share?
Did we get Sonny the other night?
Yeah, we talked about Sonny. If you got anything else you want to tell, tell.
Sonny was raised in their house. Did I tell you?
Right.
I did.
I think so. Why was that?
Why?
Uh-huh.
I don't want to say that.
Okay.
But Sonny was very much a part of our lives, because he lived with us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
When he was little and when he was growing up, till he got almost, grown teenager.
Right. Well, he was certainly loved, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Myrtle loved him with all of her heart. We never have discussed you.
Oh, you want to discuss? I thought you discussed me yesterday. If you want to discuss me, discuss me. I'll keep my mouth shut.
You're,
Tell about some of the stuff I did, growing up, where I got in trouble or that was funny or something like that.
well, one time you brought a dog home you got it down to school somewhere, and you said that you was keeping it for a lady that was going to take a trip. And she asked you to keep her dog till she got back. And I said, well, we're not keeping the dog till she gets back. You take that dog right back. And you did. You remember that?
No.
Well, it came to pass.
What else?
You signed one of your report cards. You remember that?
Uh-huh. Because I remember the spanking I got.
Who was the teacher then?
Mrs. Donald.
And I think she called us.
Yeah.
And then we caught you red-handed.
Do you remember, what was I going to tell you? Do you remember one time me getting, I spelled a dirty word to a girl in 4th grade, and Miss Phillips made me write it on a piece of paper and brought it home to you?
No, I don't remember that.
You got on the phone with her, and then you made me confess. I still know what the word was.
You don't remember?
Oh, I remember what the word was.
What was it?
It was your word plus ASS.
Oh, that was ugly.
I don't know where I would have heard that word.
From me, probably. Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to quit saying it.
Well, I told you my deal was I'm going to quit saying it at the same age you are whenever you quit saying it. So I'm good till 87.
No, you're supposed to quit ahead of time.
Okay. um,
And I love you, you know that,
yes, I know that.
with all my heart.
Hey, do you remember the revival meeting where Harold Chandler was at Blue Mountain? And that's when Harold and Brother Chandler explained baptism to me.
Yeah,
And that night, they called on a Brother Jim to pray.
and you brought off this said Brother Tim.
Yeah. So I prayed, or tried to, and then Daddy grabbed me and I just
Quit praying.
quit praying.
I remember the morning you joined the church. You had on a red shirt, and I didn't know you were going to join the church. You had talked with me about it. And Brother Chandler had, I think, had talked with you. It was on a Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget, you were between 6 and 7, I believe.
It was January of '71.
Was it? You had
Yeah.
on a red shirt. I looked around, you were standing between me and Bonnie, I think Bonnie Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked around, you were going down the aisle.
Hey, tell about the first time I ever sang in church. That's funny.
Oh, we were having Bible school, and Bonnie was your teacher, and she was letting you sing Jesus Loves Me in the program.
Right.
And you were standing there with your hands like this, and you started singing Jesus Loves Me, and about in the middle of the song, you stopped singing and you said, Bonnie, you forgot to cut my fingernails. And then you went back to your singing and finished your song.
How'd that get off the stage?
Jumped off.
Were you happy with that?
No.
Uh-uh. You were not happy at all. I think you had told me not to jump off the stage.
Didn't do any good, did you?
No, I don't guess. Anyway. Okay, now we tell stories on me. Let's tell stories on somebody else.
Who?
I don't know. I'll tell you who you need to talk about.
Who?
Talk about Tony being in the family.
Oh, Tony's there. New relative.
Well,
Whatever, you
yeah.
know. But Tony and his wife's Rhonda Blake,
Cotton. Now,
Blake Cotton,
right.
or Cotton Blake, whatever. And they're very nice people. They visit us occasionally. We thoroughly enjoy having them.
How do you feel about Tony being in the family?
It's fine with me. I like him. I've always liked him. I liked him the first time I ever met him. And Rhonda too. Rhonda is very outgoing. And she's can be funny sometimes, but she's just a real nice person.
She's a good Christian, too.
Yeah, she's a good Christian.
Well, both of them are.
And well, yeah, both of them are real good Christians, I think.
What would Uncle Bill think about Tony being in the family?
Uncle Bill,
Yeah.
why, he would accept him with open arms. That's the kind of a person Bill was.
Yeah.
He was a people person.
Uncle Bill would love Tony, though, wouldn't
Oh,
he?
yeah.
And Lord, he'd love Rhonda, too, wouldn't he?
Mm.
You about can't help but love Rhonda, can you?
Everybody likes Rhonda, I think.
I think you're right. Did, talk about Steve being in the family.
Steve,
Mm-hmm.
Billy Steve.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because y'all always knew about Steve.
mm.
That wasn't a big surprise.
That was Billy's son by his first wife.
Right.
And we knew about him, you know. from-
Because she was pregnant when she left here, wasn't she?
Yeah. And she went back to wherever they lived, I forgot now. And
Colorado.
And James found Steve because I think somebody at school had told James about it.
You know, that's so weird because I remember anytime it was ever brought up, Aunt Myrtle always talked about it. You know, when she'd list the number of grandkids, she always mentioned him. Of course, you know, Sonny has another daughter by
Yeah,
his first wife.
yeah.
And so Aunt Myrtle always listed her and stuff. Is it true that when Big Mama died, there was Aunt Myrtle listed the number of grandchildren and somebody got mad at her?
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
yeah, very. I met Steve several times, and I like him. He's a very nice person.
He looks like his Aunt Alice, doesn't he?
Looks like what?
I think he looks like Alice.
Well, yeah, I do. He resembles the Cottons.
Yeah. Well, you know, to me, Alice and Billy look more like Aunt Norbell.
Yeah, I always.
And Jack looks more like his daddy. And Bobby did too.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
well,
Because Tony looks like Jack.
yeah,
Tony looks like James too, though.
not to me.
He does to me, but oh, whatever. But he definitely looks like Jack. You know, I had that movie from last year of Tony and Rhonda dancing in their kitchen and stuff. I couldn't help but think about Jack and Sue dancing
Yeah.
at Chamber of Commerce things. Lord, they love to dance.
Oh, yeah. I think they used to be in dance. Oh, what am I trying to think of? And they went to a lot of dances.
Mhm.
They thoroughly enjoyed that.
Well, what else do you want to talk about? Talk about P.O. and Lily and Alice and the older group that you don't talk about much. Or Aunt Noby.
Aunt Noby was Mama's sister. She was older than my mother.
No, she wasn't.
She's younger,
Uh-huh.
for sure.
She was 12 years older than Aunt Myrtle.
Oh, okay. Well, I love for ain't nobody come. I know one time she came. Mama was sick and she came to stay for a few days. And she made biscuits. And I watched how she made biscuits. And I really learned to do biscuits from her.
Hmm.
She must have been a real good cook. She was real sweet.
Mm. You remember going to see her not long before she died?
And you cried because you didn't have a grandmother when we got back. You talked about it and you cried because you didn't have a grandmother.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always loved my family, so I wanted a grandmother, you know.
Yeah.
I had Aunt Myrtle and Aunt Doris, didn't I?
Yeah. Myrtle kept you while I worked, and she was real good to you. Myrtle was such a good person. You learned a lot from Myrtle,
Yeah, I did.
and from Doris too.
Yeah,
Doris was good to you.
absolutely.
When you moved to Florida,
Yeah.
you won't know something about cooking, you call Doris. You didn't call me, of course it didn't bother me, you know. But, 'cause I knew Doris was a better cook than I was. but you'd call her for recipes and
Uh-huh.
advice on cooking.
Yeah. Do you remember all the? Well, I've still got most of it.
What?
All the cooking stuff she gave me when I moved to Florida.
Yeah, she gave you pans and
Yeah, I still got most of it. I mean,
but Doris was a good cook.
yeah, she was.
And when if I was gonna have a or if I needed a cake to take to a party or something, all I had to do was call Doris. She didn't have one in the freezer, she'd make me one. And have it ready at the time I needed it. Doris was real
It
good.
was good. Oh, do you remember her? Was it a nut cake?
Nut cake.
It was white. Had white frosting and nuts in the frosting.
No, I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know what that was, but that was good. And her coconut cake was good. Although sometimes she put lemon in the coconut in between, filling, and I didn't like that.
She used to make you a chocolate cake on your birthday every year.
Absolutely. Her homemade chocolate, mercy. Of course, the last one or two were not homemade, but it didn't matter. It was Aunt Doris, so that was okay. Do you remember being down there one time when we were having dinner down there, and Aunt Myrtle said something about how good the cake was, and Uncle Harvey said it was a cake mix.
And that embarrassed Doris.
And she said, you remember what she said? She said it was not.
Yeah.
And Uncle Harvey went and got the cake mix box out of the trash can. You remember that? Woo! She was mad. That's funny. But Uncle Jerry was just over here. Got any more? Ooh! What was it? What was the story that he told? I forgot now.
That he told a while
He
ago.
told us. I asked him something about.
I don't know.
I don't remember. See, that's why putting all this stuff down on tape is so important. I'm 42 and I've got Alzheimer's. Just imagine what everybody else has got. Because they're all so much older than I
And
am.
what did Jerry tell over here?
It was something on you, I think.
Must have been good.
Yo, my soul.
No, not really.
Because you told about making a meat cleanser.
I don't remember what he told. Oh, he was talking about. No. Stuff that Mama had ordered from Jewel Tea Company.
Well, no. You told that. I'm talking about the other thing or something else. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was. My brain's tired. I'm sleepy.
I don't remember.
Oh, well.
We had a nice visit with Jerry and Doris.
We did.
We exchanged presents, had coffee, and yacked.
Yeah.
Had a good time. Doris really looks after Jerry, you know.
Yep. Well. Goodness.
What else?
I don't know. You want to pause it for a little while?